It's the League Pass Lair. I got Brian Geisinger in studio with me. And there he is, Brendan Whitted at HU Cosell on Twitter. By the way, Brian is at bguys_bird, the League Pass Lair. We're going to talk NBA playoffs. But first, have you come down off of Saturday night, Brendan?
Never. Literally never. I'm going to remember that for a lot of reasons. But that was just a really, really cool moment. I got a chance to kick with you guys on Friday and chop it up. I got a chance to kick it with my pop and watch, Duke UNC first time NCAA tournament. Great game, by the way. Like you just take, even if you take the names off the front of the jerseys, that was a great game. And the fact that those two did it in that space in Coach K's, what ended up being his last game. What? Like that was it, man. So I even with the disappointment of losing the 15-point lead or whatever it was in the second half, I'm going to remember that more than the L in the finals. In all honesty,
is it cliche to say that I think the championship game mattered. I don't think it doesn't dampen.
It definitely mattered.
It doesn't put a damper on the season. The season was remarkable. But I mean, I guess it does put a damper on it. But
I don't know if a damper is the right word.
If you're a Duke fan, can you really use that?
They are.
You can't. I'm sorry. No.
No. Yeah.
I'll be the judge here. No, you can't use that.
I don't think it necessarily puts a damper on the season. I do think it's like, they didn't win the championship, which is like the ultimate goal. So it's not like that. I don't know. The ceiling for the season is slightly lower, but doesn't mean it I don't know. It was an incredible season.
Like if a Duke fan uses that, like. We all know that you're a Carolina guy. If we all know a Duke fan, if a Duke fan said, "Hey, but you guys lost the title game," don't you just look at him and just smile?
You can't hate from outside the club. You can't even get in. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you think. Like, it doesn't. Like, it stopped being important once Coach K left the court. That was it. Like, that's it for your vote. Your vote just got chopped. It just smooth got gerrymandered away from you. Like, you no longer have a vote in this joint. So
I will say this
it doesn't matter.
I don't think you can say. I don't know. It's like you can't say that Duke doesn't matter if I don't know, then if you're basically claiming the season as perfect after beating them, though. Does that make any sense? It's
no, it's not that they don't matter. It's that their opinion on the finals doesn't matter.
Right, yeah.
They're obviously I'm all for hyping Duke up because that's only going to big us up. That's fine. But on what should have happened in the final? No. You just sit that one out. You just go sit that one out.
Yeah, I just think you're better off, if you're a Duke fan, you're better off just keeping quiet.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. Yeah, probably.
But to Brendan's point, and real quick, I want to spend 2 minutes on this. It was a great basketball game that could have gone either way. I thought Coach K was inaccurate when he said, what went wrong? We didn't make our free throws. Neither team made their free throws. They basically were the same down the stretch. I think Carolina made one more free throw in the last 8 minutes than Duke did.
Duke missed some leverage ones, I guess is what it is. Williams
the Mark
and
Williams
Roach.
2 free throws.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those 2 free throws would have given them the lead. And then if Caleb Love does hit the 3, it's still a 1-possession game. It's a 2-point game. So you still have that. But also, how did Duke let Caleb Love shoot a 3?
That's a tough shot. He's falling away. He's going to his left.
Care.
That's a deep. You're asking your big to hedge and get back, and you're already 3-4 feet behind the 3-point line. That's a tough shot.
Well, also Duke's scheme is Williams drops.
Right.
Their scheme is they usually want to drop Mark into the paint. Someone like Caleb Love is maybe someone you need to maybe be a little more mindful of when he's rolling like that. But as good of a game that was for Caleb Love, he did most of his damage inside the arc. That was kind of
except that one.
That was a big one.
That dagger.
But also Caleb Love shooting 8 of 10 on twos. It's an outlier performance. He had his best finishing game of his 2-year career, and he had it when it was when he absolutely had to do it. But this is a guy that shot under 37% on twos across 2 seasons. and he went 8 of 10 on twos against Duke. He had never made more than 6 twos in a game his entire career at UNC, and then he made 8 in the Final Four against Duke. And so, like, yeah, that is what swung it, other than also, I think, like, you know, AJ Griffin really not having his
bad.
A game.
He was
and they needed him to hit a couple of threes. They just did.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Black had something to do with that too. I mean, you know,
well,
over the course of those last 2 games, he really held him in check. And I think the game turns. One, Williams' foul trouble early on obviously changes.
He played 16 minutes in the entire game.
Yeah, like that changes the entire thing. And it was going to be the other guys. It was going to be Kills. It was going to be Griffin. It was going to be more. It was going to be those guys that kind of determined where they went, because you know what you were going to get out of Carroll. It was kind of like, hey, what are these other guys going to do? And between Williams' foul trouble and Griffin's struggles with Black strapping him up, I think that's really what kept Carolina in the game to win it late.
And still, you know, it's a 1-point game in the last minute. So it's just an incredible basketball game.
Banchero was unbelievable in this game.
It was great.
Yeah. He was unbelievable.
And Manick did just enough defensively in the second half.
Yeah.
Just enough.
I could not be more impressed with Paolo Banchero, what he did this season, what he did in the playoff, or what he did in the tournament, and then really what he did in this game. 39 minutes on that kind of usage, those playmaking responsibilities against that defense, super impressive. And he just had a hell of a freshman season this year.
Yeah,
he's an unbelievable player.
You called it a freshman season.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you call it a freshman season?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, because there's not going to be another one.
Well, yeah, obviously. His 1 year. I mean, it literally is his freshman season at Duke.
I understand.
You know?
It just struck me as odd.
His last season of amateur basketball.
His senior season.
While he was signed to CAA playing at Duke this season.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
It's too late to sign him to an NIL deal, isn't it?
No, he did quite well for himself this year.
Oh, did he? Sure.
You could play with Paolo Banchero in NBA 2K22.
Oh, really? What did he get from it?
I'm guessing a lot of money.
Good. I don't know how much. Do we know?
I don't know. I'm guessing a lot.
6 figures?
I like the idea of it being like, what did he get from it? Like some sort of like internal soul, like something a lot bigger than not money. Like it's bread.
Got peace of mind.
A lot of money.
Comfort at night. Warm socks. All right, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. I guess we start with the play-in game, the play-in tournament. All right, so Brooklyn is the 8. I guess they're not locked into the 8. They could still finish behind Atlanta and have to host Charlotte. Would Charlotte rather play at Atlanta or at Brooklyn?
I think it's tough to say. Like, they can score on both.
Is it really tough to say?
Yeah, because like Trae Young kills Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And the Hawks are the number 2 offense in the NBA. So like they're pretty scary. I think you'd rather have them, obviously, but Brooklyn, like Charlotte beat the Nets in Brooklyn a week ago. And Brooklyn is really, really small on the guard spots on the wing now. A lot of 3-guard lineups with Kyrie Irving and Seth Curry and Patty Mills and Goran Dragic. And all of a sudden, you can attack those guys with Miles Bridges and PJ Washington. So I think you'd obviously rather see the Hawks and then just try to throw whatever you can at Trae Young. But like Trae is the exact player that's just like designed to kill Charlotte's pick and roll defense. So yeah, this could still, like, Charlotte can still get to the 8th seed. Tonight's like kind of a big night for them. The Hornets need to beat Chicago. They need Atlanta to lose to Miami. And they need Brooklyn to lose to Cleveland. If they could do that, they could actually move up to 8th, but a lot of stuff has to break right.
Yeah, 8 would be better than 9 or 10.
Substantially
you
better.
You get 2 cracks at it.
Yeah, right. and one maybe, in the deciding game, if you needed it, could be a home game.
Well,
too.
if you were 8, the deciding game would be, right?
Right, exactly.
You'd either be in or you'd get the game at home.
Exactly.
Does that matter? Brendan, does it matter if the Hornets are at home? Are they markedly better at home than they are on the road?
I think it's always, particularly when I guess we call this playoff time. I guess whatever. But around this time, you'd rather be at home for the guys that it's not necessarily LaMelo or necessarily Bridges, was the guys that surround them that you would think would feel more comfortable at home than on the road. It's just usually how it goes. Your stars are able to transfer their games more than the ancillary players are. I'm I'm happy with where this team is right now. I know there's a lot of conversation about where the Hornets are and that they should maybe be further along in their development. I kind of think they're where they're supposed to be. They didn't really address the center position as they should have during the offseason. And you've seen, they picked up Montrezl Harrell during the season, but he comes with his own foibles. Obviously, Gordon Hayward missing time again. It really hurts them because they're a team they're a really well balanced team. They were right at about 5 or 6 guys averaging double figures for the majority of the season. So they really don't, because they don't have that sort of top tier talent. They need everyone that's on the roster to stay relatively healthy and to be able to contribute on a regular basis. Didn't have that guy who was 17, 6, and 5 or whatever it is on a very regular basis. But all things considered, I thought there was going to be a team that was going to be fighting for a playoff position, kind of like how they were last year. I think you've seen the development from Bridges. You're seeing LaMelo's been better than people thought earlier. Or let me say, he's been better than I thought he would be earlier in his career. And I think that kind of maybe sped up the mindset for a few fans and stuff like that. But this is a good team that has made appropriate headway. Everybody doesn't, the Memphis Grizzlies, I think maybe mess with people's idea of what a timeline looks like, even for a young team.
Sure, because of Ja Morant.
Well, they also hit on like 10 straight draft picks too.
Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Like their front office has just nailed every draft pick.
Yeah, because they won a bunch of games with Ja Morant being out for a while.
Their record without him is they're like 20-2,
18-2 or something. It was somewhere around there.
But they've got like Desmond Bane is going to be in the conversation, most improved player in the league. Jaren Jackson's in the running for defensive player of the year, but they've got a bunch of other, they drafted Dylan Brooks, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, all of these guys that are on rookie contracts that are helping them win games. So it's really impressive. And the Hornets really miss Hayward as like a half court stabilizer. As good as LaMelo is, he's not like a break your defense down and get the ball to the rim whenever he wants, like Ja is, right?
Right.
Or he's not, he doesn't have the Luka power game and step back game where he can just control everything at one point in time and just be this like heliocentric creator that does everything for your offense. And so you need a guy like Hayward that can pass and shoot from every level of the court, post up mismatches. And without him, they've missed it. They went from being the second best offense in the NBA behind only Utah to being, probably 8, 9, or 10, somewhere in that range. And that makes a big difference when your defense is terrible, which their defense is awful. I got asked on some other radio show this week, like, is it a warning sign that the defense gave up this many points to Philadelphia? I was like, it has been like a 5-alarm warning sign since October, dude. The defense is so bad. And it was bad against Orlando last night, but Orlando's playing like Admiral Schofield and Mo Wagner. And so, it can look better when you're playing that type of talent. But look, they're right where they're totally fine. And I didn't mind them not trading for like a bigger name center this season because I like them keeping control of their young prospects.
Sure.
And they're, for the most part, for the draft picks. But it would be great to also keep an eye, if you're a Hornets fan, keeping an eye on the New Orleans Pelicans. We want them to do well, because we love Brandon Ingram, Kinston, we love Raleigh Zone, Devontae Graham. But if the Pelicans make the playoffs, the sign-and-trade deal that they used to send Devontae Graham to New Orleans this last offseason, if New Orleans makes the playoffs, their first-round pick converts to Charlotte. It's lottery-protected 2022 first-round pick.
Okay.
So if New Orleans makes the playoffs, that pick comes to the Hornets. So it would be pretty nice for the Hornets to maybe snag an extra pick.
So they didn't make the playoffs because you're in the play-in tournament. You didn't make the playoffs.
You've got to make the records are frozen at the end of the season.
Okay.
But yes, if you make the teams that don't make the playoffs are the ones that are in the lottery. But again, it's still based off of whatever those records are frozen at the end of the.
Can I ask this really quick question,
sure.
BG? Because this has come floating down my timeline. I'm sure it's come floating down yours, and this has been kind of in the back circles for a while about Charlotte's interest in Russ. Obviously, it'd be more Russell Westbrook. Obviously, this would be more of a financial play, but I just wanted to hear what you had to say about it.
I would be cool with it, in part because it would probably let you clear the Gordon Hayward contract. Like Gordon,
so Hayward would go back to the Lakers. For Westbrook.
You would need more money to match, but if the Lakers offered Westbrook plus the 2027 first round pick for Hayward and some salary filler, and maybe you need a third team to facilitate this, I wouldn't be like, I don't love the basketball fit, but like to get off of the extra year of Hayward's contract and to maybe pick up another draft pick, yeah, like I would be.
Couldn't you just buy him out?
No, not at this stage. They owe him like $80 million over the next 2 seasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought there was just one more year left on the deal.
There's a 4-year contract. So there's 2 more years left for Gordon. So in that case,
no, I was talking about
Westbrook
buying Westbrook out.
Oh, I mean, you could. I don't think that's something Michael Jordan has a whole lot of interest in doing, buying someone out to not play basketball for his team. It's not really like a thing the Hornets do.
Can Westbrook?
He's on Jordan brand too, right? And Westbrook on Jordan brand.
He is, and like, I mean, I don't know. There's some stuff like the Hornets they love getting pressure on the rim. They're one of the ultimate rim pressure teams. So like. Again, I don't love the basketball fit. It's hard to like justify it.
Right.
But I mean, again, for this team that's still trying to figure out what it is, it wouldn't be the worst thing. And like they're not like contending for a title next season, so who cares if the fit between Russ and LaMelo isn't perfect? They could probably use a little bit more veteran leadership in the locker room.
Is that Russ really?
Yeah, I think that's definitely Russ. The guy's seen it all. You know what I mean?
He has seen it all. I just don't think he's. I don't know. I've never been a Westbrook fan.
I just know they acquired Isaiah Thomas in the middle of this season, and people can't stop talking about Isaiah Thomas's leadership.
Right.
And that's awesome. That's great. But it just makes me think that it's something that they probably need because they're just so
talking
young.
about Isaiah Thomas's leadership.
Now, if the transaction for Russ involved Charlotte having to attach PJ Washington to the deal, then I would not like it. I would hate it actually.
All right, let me ask this to you, Brendan. Right now, the best team in the East, not named Milwaukee, is.
Ooh, okay. I really, really like Boston a lot. I don't know if they're the second best team. The way they started playing defense towards the end, I just appreciated that. Obviously, Time Lord figuring out how healthy he's going to be and when he's going to be healthy. I just really like the stuff that I saw from Tatum and Brown and how they were able to play off one another. I have real questions about the Sixers. I don't know. I think they gave up just like a little bit too much for Harden. For this version of Harden, I guess maybe. Maybe like top tier version of Harden, he's worth it. But like I think they missed Seth Curry. Like I thought he was like a really, really important part of their spacing and the stuff they did. He was a guy that didn't use a ton of possession, but was incredibly efficient. Yeah, I'm going to go with Boston. I think maybe I'm going with my heart more than anything else. I just really enjoyed watching that team play.
I would take Boston. I mean, this is the best at full health. I mean, they need Robert Williams back, and I don't want to like overlook Miami. They've been incredible this year. I have concerns about their half-court offense. Boston is a top 10 offense in the NBA. Jason Tatum is a bona fide mega star. This guy's going to be first or second team All-NBA this season. He's one of the best playmakers on planet Earth. And that is the best defense in the NBA, even without Robert Williams. But with Robert Williams, then he takes them to a whole other level. So I would say Boston. You can definitely make a case for Miami. And yeah, with Philadelphia, like where they're at right now with James Harden, he looked straight bad last night against Toronto.
Yes.
And like, I'm guessing the hamstring is still bothering him, or like he's lost a step. And if that's the case, yikes. Like you're in trouble, especially because he's eligible for a $200 million extension this summer.
It's a shame. Total shame. All right, I'm sorry.
You seem really torn up about that.
You seem man. All right, bro. I hate it for you.
All right. One final thing. We'll have to be quick here. League Pass Lair, Brian Geisinger, and Brendan Whitted. If I said that the Dallas Mavericks were going to win the West, am I nuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not outlandish, but it's not anything that I would pick. I mean, it's hard to go against Phoenix, and particularly once Steph goes down. Dude, and go to State takes a step back. Like I wanted to see, that was what I was hoping to see out of a Western Conference final. I was hoping to see those two teams go at it. The Suns have been so good as to almost damn near be boring. It'd be hard for me to see them losing. Unless, injury or something like that.
Phoenix would play Dallas in the second round right now. Phoenix is automatically the one. They're the best team in the NBA.
Unless you have any confidence in Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz taking down
No,
Luka
I
Doncic.
don't. I don't. Dallas is going to win that series.
Yeah.
Luka's good for at least one game.
If I was going to pick a team, though, it'd be the Clippers. Like that would to me because of health and stuff like that. And I've seen the pictures of him on the court doing practice stuff, but if I was going to pick a team outside of the Suns, it would be the Clippers. And Willie Green deserves a lot of credit for what he's been able to do with the injuries there. Like that team has been really, really good, and now they're adding an all-star and Paul George. Hopefully, he'll be healthy enough by the time he gets going.
You mean Ty Lue. But yeah, Ty Lue's
Ty
Lue's done an incredible job. He's one of the best basketball coaches in the NBA. Yeah, I think to answer your question, I think you'd be a little crazy, but like their defense is better than we thought they were going to be. Jason Kidd's done a nice job. Doncic is he's one of the best players in the world. Jalen Brunson's give them some secondary creation, which they needed. And the Clippers are frisky because Paul George got back. Reggie Jackson's doing his thing.
Can't stand them.
They can, they drag every game into the mud.
I can't.
And yeah, it's gonna be nuts if they end up beating Minnesota. They get the 7th seed, and all of a sudden Memphis has got to go against the team that's much better than probably your gold standard, than your normal standard.
But we said
seed.
that about the Lakers last year, and the Suns didn't have any problem.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
I think
true.
I love Memphis. I absolutely love them.
Yeah, they rule.
Brian Geisinger at bgeis_bird. Brendan Whitted at HU Cosell. Playoffs start next week. I'm sure we are going to talk again very soon, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Congratulations to your Tar Heels for not winning the title.
Second place.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.